to thank in particular Dermot McCullen, who sent the invitation from the school to join you this morning. You know, first impressions are really important, and when I drove into the estate and I saw the flags and I saw your beautiful building, I just thought this is a fantastic place and space. And then when I listened to your code, where are the two lovely ladies who read for me the code? Oh, there you are, Lucy, yeah. Where's Alameda? Alameda, you should be here with me as well. When you read that very short but very impressive code, which I hope you all know, that really struck a chord with me. And what impresses me about this school community, this is a little story that you might remember. You are from a community that represents 47 different countries, is that right, Lucy? 47 different countries. Well, I sit in a parliament that represents only 28 countries. So we're much smaller as a community, the European Union, than your school. And the one thing that I've learned, and I think you might know as well as a school community, in order to understand each other, what do we have to do really carefully? Listen really carefully. So when I'm in the European Parliament, and sometimes you're in a hurry, or you're impatient, or you're bored. Does that happen in the school? Sometimes you get bored listening. I stop and I say, in order for someone to help me sometime, I need to listen to their problems now, so that I can help them, and they in turn will help me. And from what I've heard of your school thus far, I think you operate on a similar vein, that you help each other, but you listen to each other with great respect. And I'm going to be so delighted to be able to talk about your school in other places, both in Ireland and elsewhere, as a model of how people work together, of different ages, of different backgrounds, of different interests. But I'm really interested in this artwork. And I don't know, does anyone from junior infants know what it means, or would anyone be able to explain? Or senior infants? Or anyone put your hand up who can tell me about what this represents?
The circle of life.
Would someone like to do that for me? What's the name of the person who's going to tell me about this? Do you mind coming?
Well, actually, I'll tell you a really interesting
Yeah.
story. We had a competition to get a name for it.
Okay.
Now, Sylvia, when did you arrive in Ireland? How long have you been in Ireland? Over a year, just over a year. And his English is improving a lot. So anyway, had a big competition for a name, and we have a name, and it's in Romanian. So it might explain what the piece means to Sylvia. Tell us the name of, and this is the winner, by the way. There is a plaque going up with the name of the winner, Sylvia. What's the name of the piece? The name of the piece. Say it in Romanian.
Cercul vieții. Cercul vieții.
What does that mean?
Circle of life.
Circles of life.
That's really, really nice. And well done and congratulations, because I have Romanian colleagues who I work with in the Parliament, so it's nice to have that connection.
This boy, you explain, because you like to explain.
And excuse me, you did Emmanuel. Can I shake your hand, Emmanuel? And you're of the Students' Council, that right? Okay, you explain.
It's not a planter, you just have to speak.
Okay, Emmanuel.
What does the case mean to you?
These are the 8 classes.
Yeah, 8 species.
Junior
Outline that.
to 6th class. My name was the educational wage, because I thought for each class,
Educational wage. That's a good name.
for each class we would just go around. That's what I thought about it.
Well, thank you, Emmanuel, and thank you for putting on that beautiful name on this sculpture. I think it means different things to everybody, and that's what's nice about art. Do you all love the circles? Do you? Okay, and what do you think they look like? Does anyone want to tell me? So what do you think?
Like a little car that runs around and around.
Oh yeah, one of those cars. Spider.
Yeah, that's true. Anyone else have an idea? Yeah, you tell me. Is it nice to have nice artwork at your school? Who thinks it's lovely to have artwork? Isn't it? Because when I was at school, we didn't have any artwork, so you're very lucky. And I think the title, Circle of Life, does anyone remember the Lion King movie? Yeah. I think the adults know the Lion King movie. And that's also a story about the Circle of Life. So there's lots of interesting ideas around this. And what's lovely is when you're bigger and your children are coming to this school, you will be able to tell them about this story. So can you give a round of applause to the winner who named the sculpture? Well done. And for me, it is very special. As I say, when I drove in and looked at the beautiful flags, the lovely name up here of Aston Village, Educate Together, the sculpture, and the great school community, you should be really proud. And I think your principal mentioned those who had the idea to start this school, those on the Parents Association, on the Board of Management. These things don't happen by accident. They happen by effort and cooperation, and sometimes they happen through failure and success in equal measure. So for all of those who are present, who are part of this incredible school, just to congratulate you for that determination. I think you should be proud of what you've created, and I think your principal is proud of what's been created here. And certainly it is a model for other communities to look towards. I was very impressed when I heard that you were cooking over the weekend. So who was cooking over the weekend? Wow, that's interesting. I'm going to be glad to hear about the food. And that's part of what school communities are, people who do things on special occasions for one another. I used to go to school, but it's a long time ago. Imagine, don't guess anybody how long ago. No, never. But the nice thing is, if you have lovely memories of school, you'll treasure them always. So hands up those who have lovely memories here in your school so far, that you're going to treasure when you're bigger. Who likes your school? Yeah, all the hands are up high, even 2 hands. So it's a privilege and a pleasure to be here, particularly to start the week on a Monday, and to thank Mr. Keller and the school community, because I know that it was a little bit sudden, my arrival. And just to say, when you mentioned the plaque, you know, sometimes we don't need a stone or a name on a stone to be remembered. I think people are remembered by their good deeds and by their thoughtfulness and by their presence. And that can be much more important because, you know, life passes on, and if you can do a good deed, as I know you do as children in the school, then that's the best memory of all. So look, I'm going to go down here to hopefully to unveil whenever I'm asked to do so. But just to say, I'll treasure this moment. It is a very special morning, and I shall tell all my friends, my 27 other country colleagues in the European Parliament, that I came to a place that has how many different countries are here? 47. My gosh, now that's a global community if I've ever heard of it. So congratulations on being rather unique. Well done.
And one girl was so inspired in Des's class.